What's up, Play Sports Gamer here, and I did an opinion on who would be the MVP for the 2023 season last week, and I said Christian McCaffrey should be the MVP of the league. The experts at the time, and I said the favorite was Dak, but as you know, things change week by week, and did you see what Dak did against Buffalo? He did absolutely nothing. So that's going to hurt Dak's chances to get MVP, and someone just leapfrogged him, and it's not Brock Purdy. And believe it or not, we'll take a look at this headline. 49ers Brock Purdy endorses teammate Christian McCaffrey as NFL MVP. I really think this is a no-brainer. McCaffrey should win the MVP. He is the 49ers. The 49ers are the number one team in the NFC right now. And as I said in the intro, things change week to week. But McCaffrey has not changed. Every single week, he puts up the numbers. He puts up the touchdowns. But let's take a look at what Brock Purdy said at the news conference after they beat Arizona. After San Francisco 49ers running back Christian McCaffrey had finished shredding the Arizona Cardinals for the second time this season to clinch the Niners' second consecutive NFC West Division crown, he received a significant show of support in the race for the league's Most Valuable Player award. And that's not only from me and my endorsement, that is from Brock Purdy. Roughly 30 minutes following the 49ers' 45-29 throttling of the Cardinals to improve to 11-3, quarterback Brock Purdy was asked what the case would be for McCaffrey to win MVP. Instead of offering arguments, Purdy provided an endorsement. On a side note, I can't believe the 49ers defense gave up 29 points to the Cardinals, but at least they put up the numbers. Purdy said, I think Christian should be MVP. I really do believe that. He does everything for us, and so, in my eyes, that's an MVP, and I totally agree. The offense is centered around McCaffrey. It is not centered around Purdy. McCaffrey runs the ball, he catches the ball, and as I stated in my MVP video, McCaffrey opens up the middle, wide open, and on the sidelines for Purdy to throw to the receivers. Because all these defenses need to focus on McCaffrey to stop him. And you know what? None of the defense can stop him. The guy is just too good, and he deserves the MVP. Purdy is always quick to deflect praise for others, but in this instance, it was more notable given that Purdy himself is considered one of the top contenders to win the award. And though Purdy has also just put finishing touches on another big day, it was McCaffrey who once again shined brightest against the Cardinals. And I'm not saying that McCaffrey should be over Purdy to downplay what Purdy has done. Purdy has been awesome this year for the 49ers. He does what they need to do. He's very accurate in his passes. He runs an offense that's been scoring like crazy, has been beating the big teams in the league like the Philadelphias and the Dallases. So this is not to downplay what Purdy has done, but I really truly believe McCaffrey should be the front runner right now for the MVP, and he should win it. He should get the majority of the votes for MVP. But as I stated before, it's tough for a running back to win MVP. It's been many years since Adrian Peterson won it. It's always leaned towards the quarterback for some reason. And we continue. Despite briefly departing the game in the second quarter with the knee issue, McCaffrey posted 18 carries for 115 yards and a touchdown on the ground, 5 catches for 72 yards, and 2 touchdowns through the air. In 2 games against Cardinals this season, McCaffrey has 364 scrimmage yards on 50 touches to go with 7 touchdowns. Those 7 touchdowns are tied for most by any player against a team in the season in the Super Bowl era. Sometimes it's just the way it goes, McCaffrey says. You don't really know what games you're going to have big games. But hey, McCaffrey, it seems like every game is a pretty big game for you. As I just stated in the article, continues, for McCaffrey, the big games have seemingly come just about every week as it continues to etch his name into the San Francisco and NFL record books. With the receiving and rushing touchdowns Sunday, McCaffrey has 15 career games, which he has scored in both ways. That ties him with Marshall Faulk for such games in NFL history. To be honest, I'm a little surprised that it's only been 15 games where a running back has caught a touchdown and ran a touchdown in one game. You would think there'd be more. With 1,292 yards rushing and 509 receiving yards on the season, McCaffrey is the 4th player in NFL history to record at least 1,000 rushing yards and 500 receiving yards in 4 more seasons in his career, joining Falk, Thurman Thomas, and Tiki Barber. McCaffrey's 6,018 rushing yards and 4,265 receiving yards since entering the NFL in 2017 make him the 3rd player ever, along with Falk and Roger Craig, to hit those marks in the first 7 seasons. I don't know why Carolina, I know McCaffrey makes a lot of money, but why would Carolina trade him away. He would have been a great centerpiece for the Carolina Panthers offense as he was in the past. And I don't get why they traded him unless he was putting up so much for stink in the Carolina locker room that he wanted to get out of here. They had no choice. But if I was running the Carolina Panthers, there's no way I would ever get rid of McCaffrey. Maybe when he's in his 30s, but not right now in his prime. All those milestones are coming in the midst of a season which McCaffrey, 27 years old, might be the best he has been in his career. On the year, McCaffrey has 20 total touchdowns, tied with Miami's Raheem Mostert, former 49er, for the most in the league. And his 6 100-yard rushing games are the most for any player in the league. He has posted 100 yards from scrimmage in 11 games this year, tied to Roger Craig for the most in a season in franchise history. 6 100 rushing games, that tells you for the season, that tells you how much running backs, like big-time running backs, are not important anymore in the league. It's always split in the backfield with 2 running backs, sometimes 3. The main running backs are not so important anymore in the NFL's offense nowadays, and it's pretty sad. And I feel bad for any of the college running backs coming up because they're probably not going to get these huge contracts anymore. Suffice to say, all this contributes to a compelling MVP case for McCaffrey, even if coach Kyle Shanahan prefers not to choose between his 2 in-house candidates. I don't have to differentiate, thank goodness, but I've been around a couple of MVPs probably in my career, and this is the most obvious thing to me. I might be biased being on the team, but I don't think so. I wish Shanahan would name McCaffrey his MVP. I think Brock Purdy would understand. This is McCaffrey's chance. This is his big chance to get an MVP on his resume. And I know some people would say this is Purdy's best chance, but I think he'll have more chances down the road. As everyone has stated, a quarterback has the best chance to win MVP in the league. Purdy would have other chances, but I think this is McCaffrey's best shot, and Shanahan should have endorsed that, in my opinion. Purdy would understand that for the time being. I don't think it would affect anything in the locker room. So bad on Shanahan for not endorsing McCaffrey. While McCaffrey was racking up more big numbers Sunday, Purdy wasn't exactly hurting his case. He finished 16 of 25 for 242 with 4 touchdowns, no interceptions for a passer rating of 135.3. Completion percentage for that game wasn't that great, but the yards per completion is pretty good, and 4 touchdowns with no interceptions is great. It's the 3rd game this season Purdy has thrown for at least 4 touchdowns with no picks, tying with Steve Young and Jeff Garcia for the most in the season in franchise history. His 29 touchdown passes in the season are most by a Niners since Garcia had 32 in 2001, which Purdy will definitely pass. McCaffrey joined left tackle Trent Williams to answer questions in tandem. As Williams was asked how he would choose between Purdy and McCaffrey, he quickly shut down the question with a chuckle. That's whether Williams should be MVP conversation. McCaffrey said he's got my vote. But the one thing both players and everyone else asked about the topic continue to make clear is the Lombardi Trophy is the only one that truly value. We've got the best running back in NFL, so for him to get MVP consideration, I think that's his just due, Williams said. In the same way with Brock. Brock was playing his butt off. I couldn't be more proud with these guys. I mean, who cares? As long as we bring back the trophy to Santa Clara, that's all I'm worried about. And in the end, that's all I am worried about. It's been since 1995, since the 49ers won a Super Bowl. With the talent this team has in past years with Jim Harbaugh as coach and Kyle Shanahan as coach, it's crazy that they have not won another one. They should have beat Kansas City in the Super Bowl, but Jimmy G could not complete a pass in the 4th quarter. They probably did not deserve to beat Baltimore when they played them in the Super Bowl when the power went out, because Baltimore was destroying them early in the 3rd quarter. But I think this is their best shot. If everyone can stay healthy, they have to get that number 1 seed to get that bye, and most importantly, not have to go to Philly in the playoffs. They have to play at home. But this video is about MVP, and I think I said McCaffrey should win it in my previous video, and this game against Cardinals really shows that he should win the MVP. Dak, the game he had against Buffalo, should drop him the 3rd, maybe 4th in the list of MVPs. He needs to step it up in the last 3 games. So McCaffrey is still number 1 in my book. Purdy is number 2, who went from 4 to 2 with the bad game Dak had, and Lamar Jackson not doing that great so far in his game. So let me know what you guys think. Do you think McCaffrey should win it over Purdy, or do you think Purdy should win it over McCaffrey? Let me know down below, and I appreciate a like on this video and a subscription. Thanks. See ya.